Next is our probably one of our biggest topics of today, which is Rivian announced the R2 today. Like literally today, as of recording this, like 3-4 hours ago, announced this. So weeks have been leading up to this. Rivian's unveiling of its smaller new electric SUV, the R2 today. But they also dropped the R3 and R3X on us at the same time, which is interesting to say the least. The R3 is supposed to arrive at a smaller and lower MSRP than the R2, but the R2 is the one that will be coming first. So expect an R3 in the future, but the R2 will be coming first. And with that, the R2 is interesting. Now, it is not my most favorite vehicle ever here. Here it is up on the screen here, but we got the R2 coming today. This is just a front picture of it. Now, it pretty much is the R1S, but using their new battery technology. I think it was like 4665 or something like that. It'll have a 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Just to clarify, that is for the top range tri-motor model. It'll have up to 300 plus miles of range, and it's relatively spacious. It's really not even that much smaller than the Rivian itself, in all honesty. It's definitely smaller, like for sure it is smaller. I'm just gonna pull up their website here for us to look at this guy a little bit more. But as you can see here, if you look at it, it's hard to know that you're not looking at an R2 other than or an R1, other than looking at the thing itself. It really isn't that big of a change other than in size and starting MSRP, which is $45,000. So this is a Model Y competitor. It is slightly, I believe they said longer than a Y. I take that back. They said shorter. They said shorter than a Y. So with that, there is some really cool, interesting things they revealed here. So the inside's getting a total revamp from the R1S. You're also getting room for camping inside. The driver and passenger seat are also going to fold all the way flat, which is an interesting concept. I mean, you don't think of many instances that would be super useful unless you're camping, which Rivian seems to be really into this. Our cars are meant for camping, explorers of the world, adventuring, which is an interesting market to try to force yourself into, I guess. With that, in the front, you'll get two glove boxes, and yeah, I mean, it's otherwise pretty similar. The steering wheel, as you can see here, is going to have these two little dial controls, two little scroll wheels to move it up and down. Their signature Rivian torch is going to be in the doors of this as well. I believe in the R3 it's there too. And this will be kind of starting manufacturing at the beginning of 2026. And the R3 will be following that at some point there. It's going to be an interesting vehicle to see. Every seat laying flat and stuff like that is interesting. The back glass will be able to go down. Also, the rear windows to the trunk space of the car will be able to fold out. So you'll be able to get maximum breathing. Both rear windows will go all the way down. It will have the NACS charging port. Something else they briefly mentioned is that the Rivian charging network, not only will this work on Tesla's, all Rivians will work on Tesla's charging network here within a few months, I think they said, but also the R2 is going to have 600-ish chargers in the US or something like that will be open standards. So I think they're making their own charging network. The acronym was RAN, and I can't remember what RAN stand for, but they'll have 650 chargers or something like that. 600, 650. It was a 600 number, but within the US within the next few years here as well. And then the R3. We know pretty much nothing about the R3 other than it will be similar but smaller and cheaper than the R2. And on the other side of that, it will also have another variant of it called the R3x, which will basically be the R3, but meant for more off-roading. Some of the finishes are going to be upgraded to handle off-roading stuff better, interior upgrades to handle off-roading stuff better, suspension, wider wheelbase, wider tires, just things like that. And that'll be another thing that they're going to kind of drop on us too. Um, looks, I mean, they look great compared to the Fisker Ocean, which we just saw recently. I prefer the Rivian looks. And this will be a fascinating to see the R3 when it comes to that time. And, you know, here is a picture of the whole family. I was trying to find, they had an image of the R1 and the R2 kind of like overlaid in front of it. And it's definitely smaller in all dimensions, but it's not like incredibly smaller, like from what those graphics looks like. That said, super cool. Great to see Rivian is actually still going to be releasing products. So I don't know. Rivian to me, I know they're kind of doing the Tesla startup thing, but I actually do like their products. And especially if they hit the $45,000 price point and don't pull a Elon on us with like the Cybertruck, for instance, it'll be interesting to see if 45,000, if they hit 300 plus miles, be awesome to see. I know they're going to have like a dual motor, or I want to say they had a dual motor variant, a dual motor all-wheel drive, and then like a tri-motor. And there was one other variant. For some reason, I want to say single motor, but I can't remember if it was or not. But nonetheless, it'll be super cool to see Rivian release this, and I'm excited to see what that looks like in the future.